Good morning. It is me in person, in the flesh. I'm here. Saturday morning. And today is really a day. There are a couple of people that I really wish were watching. My brother, Mark, who, was someone I really cared about, but we kind of had different lives, but we would just jump in whenever we got together, which wasn't that frequently, but it's like anytime we talked, it was just like we had been, just catch up a few details. And it was like it'd been that way since we were 5 years old. And, he really he had to accelerate his pace of emotional and spiritual development when he found that he only had a few months to live. And he really taught me a lot on that journey, and certainly inspired me to be who I am. That is important. You have a world that tells you this is what you should be, and if you're not that, you should feel guilty. And that is a part of all of us. That is the culture that we live in, and each of us participate in a piece of that. I was talking to my other brother who um, I didn't ask him directly, but I should, if because he says that we live in a country that he does not think that it is equitable and fair. And I get the strong suspicion that he does not participate in voting. And as a democracy, you really want to, if you're living in a democracy and you don't like what's going on, democracy means we all participate and we all have a voice in that as a group of people. And that's interesting, because I'm thinking about a lot of people who say, I'm not interested in participating with other people unless it's my way. So that is the art of compromise and really discussion. Whatever happened to discussion where I can say what I believe in? But most of the rhetoric that I see on social media, and maybe this is a result of the platform, most of the rhetoric that I see is they are causing something. Those people. And, any time in my life, for the most part, almost without fail, not completely, I can think of one or two examples, but almost without fail, when I thought somebody was those people and I actually met those people are like me. When you get right down to it, they have hopes and dreams and creativity, struggles and everything. And there really are no those people. If you sit down and talk to someone, it is this fear that is been driven and maybe exacerbated by the tools that we've created, these electronic marvels that allow us to communicate at the speed of light, but really carry a lot of fear, anxiety, hate, and trepidation. Makes us need to step back for a second and say, who are we really and who do we want to be? And so I'm taking that to the artistic piece. The other person I would like to see is my friend John. I won't say his last name, but if you know me, you know who that is. And he really hung on to the idea that he wanted to be famous. He was a talented songwriter, an okay musician, but he drank himself to death because he really was in love with the idea of that he would be famous. And rather than being famous, I think he would have been if he would have taken time to really focus on that, instead of being famous, producing something of value to him. And then that would have been valuable to other people. And so that's my advice to you this morning through my brother Mark, who I think would have heartily agreed, if not having told me that we need to produce things of value for the world, that our art, our participation, our listening and participation with each other is important. If we can just do that, a few of us, to reignite not only a creative vision that is taken from who we are, but also a discussion of what a democracy looks like, what we want that to be, rather than congregating in groups of those people. All right. So, creative vision. Today is Saturday, and I am focusing on rewriting my workout. And last night we had a meeting with our board of directors, the parents and participants in a lot of our programs, our advanced students, and really bright, shining stars of today and the future. And we really appreciate their participation in what we do. So, anyway, I'm going to get to the quotes. You got to stay true to who you are. So this is Aretha Franklin. I got to see her one time, and I was both impressed and disappointed because she was not having a good day that day. But I really like her and her music. She says, be your own artist and always be confident in what you're doing. If you're not going to be confident, you might as well not be doing it. And that is certainly true. Steve Jobs, and I've always liked Steve Jobs, who was quite the visionary. He says, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. And that was my friend John. He saw the Beatles and some other, and he said, I want that. But that was already taken. You've got to do your own life. And Kurt Cobain, I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not. That you need to be true to your artistic vision. If you do that, it will take you places. And rather than saying, should I, is it the right thing? It is keep honing your vision and your own individual art over time. And again, Lady Gaga, you have to be unique and different and shine in your own way. So, Post Malone, when you're knocked down, you've got to get up and keep going. And Beyonce, if everything was perfect, you would never learn. You would never grow. All right, I'm rambling on today, so I'm going to move on and get to work. I've got to rewrite my workout and get to it. Have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow.